Math lesson number 30. Multiplying radicals.
If A is greater than or equal to 0 and B is greater than or equal to 0, then nth root of A times nth root of B is equal to nth root of A times B. So meaning to say, we just need to multiply the radicands. Example, square root of 8 times square root of 2. So all we need to do is to multiply the radicands. 8 times 2, so square root of 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Square root of 16 is equal to 4. So in this case, we will only consider the principal root, which is 4. Number 2, 3 square root of 5 times negative 2 square root of 3. So first, we need to multiply the coefficients. 3 times negative 2, that is negative 6. And then the radicals, square root of 5 times square root of 3, square root of 5 times 3, which is square root of 15. So the final answer is negative 6 square root of 15.
Let's have number 3. 3 cube root of 2 times negative 4 cube root of 4. So first, the coefficients. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. And then the radicands, 2 and 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So cube root of 2 times 4 is cube root of 8. And then cube root of 8 is 2. So negative 12 times 2 is negative 24. Number 4, 5 square root of 6x times 7 square root of 2x cubed. So first, the radicands, the coefficients, 5 and 7. So 5 times 7 is 35. And then next, the radicands, 6x times 2x cubed. And then the radical sign, square root. So 6x times 2x cubed is 6 times 2, 12. X times x cubed, x raised to 4. Then after that, 12x raised to 4 will turn into 4x raised to 4 times 3. Why 4x raised to 4? Because this is a perfect square factor of the radicand. Now, we will separate this. We have 35 square root of 4x raised to 4 times square root of 3. Now, square root of 4x raised to 4 is 2x squared. And then square root of 3. Now, 35 times this is 70x squared. That's 35 times 2, 70. And then plug in square root of 3. Number 5, monomial times a binomial, radicals. So, square root of 2 times square root of 5 plus square root of 6. So distribute square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 5. That's it. Which is square root of 10. Square root of 2 times square root of 6. Which is square root of 12. Now, square root of 12 is not yet simplified because there is still a perfect square factor of the radicand, which is 4. So this one will turn into square root of 10 plus square root of 4 times square root of 3. We know that square root of 4 is 2. So the simplified form is square root of 10 plus 2 square root of 3. Again, square root of 12 is square root of 4 times square root of 3. Number 6, 3 square root of 5x times 2 square root of 7 minus 5 square root of 6x. So again, a monomial times a binomial, radicals. So distribute. This one times this is this, which is equal to this. So 3 times 2 is 6. 5x times 7 is 35x. Next, this one times this. So that's it. 3 times 5 is 15. 5x times 6x is 30x squared. Now let's simplify this one, and then negative 15 square root of 30x squared. So square root of x squared is x. What is left is square root of 30. So the final answer is 6 square root of 35x minus 15x square root of 30. Again, in this radicand, x squared is a perfect square factor. So we need to find the square root of that, and that will be x. So the remaining factor is 30. So it is inside, or it is still the radicand, because 30 is not a perfect square. Number 7, cube root of 4 times 2 cube root of 2 plus 3 cube root of 6. So distribute this one times this. That will be 2. 4 times 2 is 8, so 2 cube root of 8. Next, distribute this one to this. So cube root of 4 times 3 cube root of 6 is 3. 4 times 6 is 24, so 3 cube root of 24. Now we know that cube root of 8 is 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. But cube root of 24 is not yet simplified. There is still a perfect cube factor of 24, which is 8. So we need to extract that. So that's 3, and then cube root of 24 is cube root of 8 times cube root of 3. Cube root of 8 is 2, so 2 times 3 is 6. And then plug in cube root of 3. So final answer is 4 plus 6 cube root of 3. So we cannot combine this with this, because they are not like terms. Number 8, binomial times binomial radicals. Square root of 5 minus square root of 6 times square root of 7 plus square root of 3. So we will use FOIL method here. First, again, FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. So let's start with first. Square root of 5 times square root of 7, that is square root of 35. Outer, square root of 5 times square root of 3, that is square root of 15, because 5 times 3 is 15. Inner, square root of 6 times square root of 7, that is square root of 42. And then square root of 6 last, times square root of 3, square root of 18. Now let's simplify this. Square root of 35, square root of 15, but square root of 18 has a perfect square factor, which is 9. So we need to extract that. Square root of 9 times square root of 2. Square root of 9 is 3, so the final answer is square root of 35 plus square root of 15 minus square root of 42 minus 3 square root of 2. So again, square root of 18 is 3 square root of 2. Number 9, 2 square root of 8 minus 3 square root of 2 times 6 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 5. So again, we will use FOIL method. Square root of 2 times square root of 8 times 6 square root of 2 is this, and that will be 2 times 6, 12, 8 times 2, 16. Next, the outer, this one times this, so that's 2 times 5, 10, 8 times 5, 40. Inner, this one times this, that will be 3 times 6, 18, 2 times 2, 4. Last, this one times this, and that will be 3 times 5, 15, 2 times 5, 10. Now let's simplify. We know that square root of 16 is 4. Okay. And square root of 40, 40 has a perfect square factor, which is 4. So we need to separate that, extract that, square root of 4, and then what is left is square root of 10. Now set aside, square root of 4 is 2, And 15 square root of 10 is already simplified. So, set aside. Now, 12 times 4 is 48. 10 square root of 4 is 2. So, 10 times 2, that will be 20. And then plug in square root of 10. And 18 times 2 is 36. And then 15 square root of 10. Now, combine similar terms. 48 minus 36. That will be 12. Now, this 10 times 2 is 20. 20 square root of 10 minus 15 square root of 10. So, 20 square root of 10 and 15 square root of 10 are like terms. So, we can combine. 20 minus 15 is 5. Plug in the radical, square root of 10. So, final answer is 12 plus 5, square root of 10. Let's have number 10, square root of 3 minus square root of 2 times square root of 3 plus square root of 2. So, this is a product of sum and difference. So, this is sum, this is difference. So, again, we will follow the pattern. A plus B times A minus B is equal to A squared minus B squared. So, in this case, A is square root of 3, B is square root of 2. So, square root of 3 minus square root of 2 times square root of 3 plus square root of 2 is square root of 3 squared minus square root of 2 squared. We know that square root is cancelled if the expression is being squared. So, square root of 3 squared is 3. Cancel the radical sign. Square root of 2 squared is 2. Cancel the radical sign. 3 minus 2 is 1.